Hey, welcome back to another episode of Mixing a Prog Album Live, where we are working the same as the last 24 times on AfterWinter's second album, Boundless. Today is episode 25, which is pretty cool. We're halfway to 50. I don't know if we'll make it to 50, but we might, for sure. 25 episodes today. I want to start off today again by thanking new subscribers. I don't think we've gotten any new ones since the last episode, but I do like to put this at the beginning of episodes when I can. If you are a fairly recent subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. We hope you like what you see and what you hear. There will be plenty more doing this with hopefully some cool tunes that everybody likes. If you are a longtime subscriber, thank you also, because you have been here probably since the very beginning. We've stayed fairly consistent in subscriber count since we released our very first song at the beginning of 2020, and that's huge for us. Thank you guys for the support, whether you are a new supporter or an old supporter, whether you like something we've done at some point or you're looking forward to what we have coming, or both. We really, really appreciate it, so thank you. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. It helps us out a lot. It always excites us to see more and more people enjoying what we do. So, yes, please consider subscribing if you are not. Today we are going to continue working on track 7, which is called Find Me. This is the ballad of the album, and we are going to be diving in where we left off, which I believe was sound detail. There we go. Okay. Now we're looking at the right screen. Yes, so we were getting ready to start the bass sound detail. Looks like we had finished up all the drum stuff, which is a good spot to leave off. So we're going to jump forward up to where there's actually bass going on here and take a look at everything we've got going on, make sure that we're good with the settings the way they are. Let's start off with this compressor right here. Just kind of take a look at how much this is compressing. I would expect to see this hanging around that -5 mark somewhere.
Of the music in this place, this is where I stay.
Okay. A little less, that's okay. We're in a soft part. Where are we at if we go up further? Right, yeah, so right around that -5 mark when we're hard and heavy. I think that's good to leave where it is. The virtual mix rack should be good as is. Oh yeah, we usually check to make sure that this cut at 1540 is actually helpful. Yeah, I hear what it's doing. Good there. Let's check our multipressor. Have you revealed what guitars you used for the song? No, I have not. I need to bring up a couple from downstairs. The rhythm guitars are the norm. That would be the good old purple 7-string Jackson Slat. The solos were the white swirl Jackson Soloist, which is a fairly recent thing. Which is downstairs. I would love to show that guitar to you guys. That guitar looks super awesome. It is downstairs at the moment. I need to bring that up and show it on a later stream because that guitar looks awesome. And there's a Jerry-related story behind that, but we'll leave that unless somebody specifically wants to hear it. The clean guitars. Let me find this because I know that there's a record of this. Yes, because I did the same thing for this one as I did in Paramnesia. So the clean guitars, there's a lot of different clean guitars happening. For the sound that's just marked clean, that is this guitar sitting right beside me here, this green Jackson Kelly. Has a really nice clean tone, just built-in Jackson pickups here, so nothing special but not bad. For the sound that is marked ballad, which is kind of like a chorusy 80s sound, that would be this guy right here. A Mexican Fender Stratocaster. I know, we used a Stratocaster on a metal album, right? And this thing has been on cleans for a long time. Stuff prior to Paramnesia might have even been all on this guitar in cleans. For the acoustic simulator, that would be this guy right here, this red Ibanez. I'm not sure if it's Geo or G10. I've had this guitar for a long time. This was my 4th ever guitar. My first good one with a whammy bar, which I got from Rock just down the street here. This guitar has hung around for a long time. Oops. And then for the actual acoustic, there would have been 2 different acoustic guitars, one of which, again, is downstairs. It's an Ibanez 6-string acoustic, which Seth, my brother-in-law, I can say that now I think about it. Seth, my brother-in-law, gave me several years ago. I guess he just didn't need it anymore. I don't know. He just walked into my room at one point years and years ago and said, "I don't need this. Do you want it?" Yeah. And then I don't remember what brand James's acoustic, because James is playing acoustic on this too. Oh, it's so obvious. I feel like it's a Fender, but I might be wrong. Yes, so lots of different ones. I'm pretty sure... Oh, Eli said, "I was waiting for you to crash through the door when you rolled back." That would have been funny. Yes. The bass was probably the same. I'm pretty sure on this album it was either the 5-string Ibanez bass or the 4-string Axe bass, right? So this was probably the 5-string Ibanez bass-wise. Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that. Okay, yeah, so taking a look at our multi-presser then for the bass, looks like we are, yes, we're pressing all 4 frequency ranges here. Very nice. Yep, I think that's all doing what it should. We also have a couple of things here on the bass guitar master that are from the mid-range bandpass thing. I don't think we're going to need this cut at 220. We have a little cut at 350 and a little boost at 3500. Let's just kind of see what those 2 things are doing. I'm actually a little on the fence about whether that low cut should be on there. I think we'll leave it off for now, but I'll try and keep that in mind. Okay, next is our whole row of clean guitars. So this is actually what I was just talking about here. These 2 here would have been that Jackson Kelly. The next 2 in line would have been the Stratocaster. The next 2 in line would have been that Ibanez. The next 2 in line are the Ibanez actual acoustic. And then the next 2 in line are James's acoustic, which again I think is Fender. I'm pretty sure that's a Fender. If James is watching, he can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But yes. Also, I recorded my acoustic guitars in this song very quietly. You can see my acoustic guitars are way up. It's not that my acoustics are way, way louder than everything else. It's just that I recorded them very quietly. So they look like they're louder than everything else. They're not. They're just turned up further. Actually, you can see the peak meter of mine and James's is hitting about the same point, this -12 right around. Despite his being 11 decibels lower than mine, we're actually coming out at about the same volume. Okay, as far as the way the clean guitars actually sound, I don't really have any problem with it. I think it might be fine as is. Excuse me. Oh. Seem to have hit the wrong button. Yes. I mentioned this in the last episode, I think, too, but each set of guitars also had capos in different spots, playing the song in different keys. I wish I could remember which one was which. I suppose we could probably tell if we listened. The two, my main acoustics and James' acoustics might be the same. Sorry, I don't know why my throat's doing this. Okay. So I would say the Jackson Kelly is Capo 1 playing the song in D. That's the D shape and the D minor. See, that's... Okay, so that would be... The Strat would have been Capo 6 playing the song in A. Then... The acoustic simulator was the Ibanez playing the song in E, tuned a half step down. MTV Unplugged version of this would be cool. Yeah, agreed. Yeah. Okay. And then... Yeah. And then both James and I's acoustics are Capo 4 playing the song in C. So that was a lot of figuring out, changing the key of the song over and over and memorizing the patterns. Yeah, let's turn the vocals on too while we're dealing with the clean guitars, just so that we can get an interesting idea of what the song sounds like with just the acoustic guitars and the singing. Okay, so we need to deal with the clean guitars master.
Of the music in this place.
Take a look at our multipressor.
This is where I stay. Your time seems to be an illusion taking us away. But though I had to leave,
Diminished chord.
I know you still believe that even though I'm gone, you have the strength to carry on. If you're alive, I'm alive.
I'm tempted to just let this play the rest of the way through.
Here within you, I can never fade. I remain through the memories we made. Leave your sadness beside the lake. Feel the sunshine on your face. Though you're torn in two, still I'm here with you. In the peaceful thoughts of memory, that's where you'll find me.
This is the solo. Jump a little forward here.
Through the tears you've cried, I won't leave your side. And in the joyful thoughts of memory,
pretty neat, for sure. That says I can see a music video where we're all sitting around with acoustic guitars with all different capos, even Majennica and you two singing this. That would be neat. I could totally see a really cool music video for this song. I picture that church that we took pictures in the previous band, and that very first photo shoot we did before Decadence Divine. Like that church was really beautiful. All those big stained glass windows, and the sun was coming in just right that day. Of course, with what you're saying, I could see it being more like an outside thing, like almost a campfire at night sort of a thing. Excuse me. Yeah, that's super neat. I'm glad we listened. We probably listened to more of that than we needed to, but it was still cool. Okay, so moving into rhythm guitars, we just need to check that the multipressors on mine and James's channels are doing what they're supposed to do, and then do the master channel. Should have a big palm muted part right before the guitars come in. Yeah, by a lake. Yeah, it would have to be by a lake, for sure. Are we still in solo mode? No. Okay, now we're doing what I wanted to do. Here we go. Okay. Majenica's wearing a Where's Waldo costume singing You Can Find Me. Yeah. We should do it at the same spot we did the photo shoot with Jerry. Yeah. That kind of like that courtyard down in Athens, right? Is that what you were thinking? I think that's... I'm remembering that right? That's where we did the Paramnesia shoot with Jerry? Ooh. Yeah, and that stairwell. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yep. Satisfied with where that's sitting. Now, 1 second here, because it sounds an awful lot like the beginning gets cut off. It doesn't. That's just how we played it. Wild. It doesn't sound like a hit. It just sounds like we're there. Weird. But no, it's not cut weird. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so multipressor on the master that's hitting all 4 bands here. Yeah, I think I want to hit that a little less. Doing good there. This was another chord progression. I pretty specifically remember when we wrote this. So this was, again, the writing crew, if you will, for this album was me and James and Sam and Eli. And Eli was recording the actual drum tracks while we were writing. And Sam and I were throwing ideas back and forth for this, and I really specifically remember these chords just kind of like, it seemed like it was occurring to both of us. And I would say, oh yeah, and then this one. And then Sam would play that one. And then sometimes he would be like, how about this? And do this. I'm like, oh, yeah. Or sometimes he'd play one and I'm like, oh yes, that sparked the idea. I know what needs to be next. It was just one of those that happens to musicians quite often, where you almost feel like it's not you who's writing it. It's like it's just occurring to you spontaneously. It's very strange, but I enjoyed that that particular memory. I should point out too, especially considering what the lyrics of this song are dealing with, that when we wrote this song musically, we didn't know what was going to happen yet. We knew that Jerry wasn't doing good, but we had no idea that it was going to go the way it did. And same with Harry. Now, obviously, we did once the lyrics were written, but musically speaking, the fact that it just like perfectly works with this and the emotion works towards the same goal, we had no idea. We just knew that we were writing a cool ballad. You know, crazy to think about. Okay, moving into pianos, I think what's on the individual tracks is already fine. I do want to check the piano reverb once we've got the stuff on the master, I think. But it's the same stuff that's always on there, and I think the pianos sound just fine. Let's check the multipressor. Let's jump clear back to the beginning of the song and check this. Not hitting it very hard. That's good. That's what I want.
Still you're confused. The loss was so
Curiosity.
unfair. There was no way to prepare. You look to the skies and tears fill your eyes.
This studio VCA really increases bottom end and makes it warmer.
Here within you, I can never fade.
We just have to make sure it's not getting in the way.
I remain through the memories we.
back to where it's only piano. Check this reverb.
Sitting on the shore, you've been here for a while. You watch the water move as dawn crests the lake. Still you're confused.
Yep, good with that. Want to make sure that it's a fair amount, but not too much. Reverb is something that I've definitely got to watch for myself because I know I tend to overdo it sometimes. Okay, let's check out what we're doing on strings. Again, I think what each individual strings thing has got on it is fine. Our Platinum Orchestral compressor, and then the channel EQ, making sure that things are sitting where they're supposed to be sitting. Our Gregorian ensemble is different. Let's turn off that space designer, but everything else should be fine as is. We do need to turn on the orchestra reverb, but the orchestra is very much a vibe thing in this song. It is not something that needs to be like really clearly heard. Again, vibe. It's there to increase the vibe. It's not there to like jump out as, whoa, there's an orchestra. But if we'd mute it, you'd notice something dropped out of it. Okay, let's take a look at leads. We got our normal stuff going on as far as EQ, multi-pression. We do need to check the multi-pression and then the soothe, getting rid of irritating frequencies. We can check the multipressor pretty easily here. I do know that there's a spot with the harmonies that does palm muting. We're multi-pressing the main signal too. That's definitely going to need a little bit harder push on that section. our compressor, we shouldn't be seeing it move hardly at all when it's one guitar, but moving a little bit more when there's two, or three in this case. Okay, 1 second there. I think there's a little bit too much, like, dirt right there. I've kind of, like, pick-scraped the strings downwards, and it's a little too much, I think. Like that solo. All right, vocals. We've got the virtual mix rack and then channel EQ for both Majennica and I. Majenica's vocals being much more important in this one. I think the vocals we've been listening to all up to this point are all fine. So let's get on our de-esser. We probably should have a regular compressor on this one too because of that chorus. We definitely want to make sure it's not doing much though. Let's take a look at our multipressor. We should probably do this during the final chorus when things are actually hitting hard.
The tears you've cried, I won't leave your side. And in the joyful thoughts of memory, that's where you'll find me to guide you home.
Yep, okay, and then, oh yeah, there's a channel EQ there. Little dip at 300 and tiny little boost at 4,000.
The tears you've cried, I won't leave your side. And in the joyful thoughts of memory,
Not 100% sure if I like the boost at 4,000. We'll keep it for now. Okay, let's take a look at a regular compressor. Since during the choruses, Majennica and I are both singing that part. We want to solo the stream mic and the lead vocals. And let's go to, let's stay in this third chorus because we're hitting harder here. So we want to make sure that even at the hardest point, we're not compressing too much. We want to set the attack value first.
I won't leave your side. And in the joyful thoughts of memory, that's where you'll find me to guide you home. I
and in the joyful thoughts of memory.
Okay, yep, all good there. Okay, let's take a look at the background vocals master. So again, channel EQ and compression all the way across. Our normal stuff that we do to background vocals, where the channel EQ is slightly different depending on whether it's me or Majennica or James singing. I don't think James did any on this song. This time it's usually either me or Majennica. Next album, I need to label which BG is who, because I seem to be, every episode I'm struggling to a certain degree to remember, and then we end up having to like play a piece to remember which of the background vocals are me and which ones are Majennica. Why in the world wouldn't I label that? It was a silly thing. Okay, so then on our background vocals master, we've got de-essing, of course. Let's take a look at some multi-pression. We're going to just kind of stick here in this final chorus when everything is nice and strong. Making sure that wasn't hitting too hard. Regular compression and dual mono here. Gotta love add 9. Actually, it's more like 2 in that case. Okay, and then an EQ, we've got a little bit more, a little cut at 300 there. Nice. Yes. Okay. Let me set you here about in the middle of the song and listen to a little bit here. I gotta pee. I will be right back.
Though you're torn in two, still I'm here with you. In the quiet thoughts of memory, that's where you'll find me. In the warm embrace of the music in this place, this is where I stay. Here time seems to be an illusion taking us away. But though I had to leave, I know you still believe that even though I'm gone, you have the strength to carry on.
I love that harmony right there when we say, if you're alive, I'm alive. I had demoed that out in 3-part harmony. But it wasn't until Majennica sang that upper harmony that I felt like it really kind of like bloomed up the way it should have. Okay. Someday I will be over this cold. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is the mid-range bandpass listen. So we are going to cut out all of the low lows and the high highs and listen to the entire song only in mid-range, because this reveals a lot of potential issues with things that are in the one range that all speakers everywhere, even the junky little crappy things, have. So you want your song to sound good in the mid-range so that you can be at least fairly assured that your mix is going to translate well across different sets of speakers. So let's get listening.
Sitting on the shore, you've been here for a while. You watch the water move as dawn crests a lake. Still you're confused. The loss was so unfair. There was no way to prepare. You look to the skies and tears fill your eyes. Feeling all alone. All alone. Here within you, I can never fade. I remain through the memories we made. When you're looking across the lake, feel the sunshine on your face. Though you're torn in two, still I'm here with you. In the quiet thoughts of memory, that's where you'll find me.
I'm going to back up just a hair.
Here with you. In the quiet thoughts of memory, that's where you'll find me.
Pianos felt like they were a little strong in that bass range.
In the warm embrace of the music in this place, this is where I stay. Here time seems to be
second here.
Time seems to be an illusion taking us away. But though I had to leave, I know you still believe that even though I'm gone, you have the strength to carry on. Oh, you're torn in two. Still, I'm here with you. In the peaceful thoughts of memory, that's where you'll find me. The tears you've cried, I won't leave your side. And in the joyful thoughts of memory, that's where you'll find me to guide you home. You'll always find me.
Yeah, we're so close. There's something in the background vocals there in the end that I want to take a look at.
The tears you've cried, I won't leave your side. And in the joyful thoughts of memory, that's where you'll find me to guide you home. You'll always find me.
Nice. Yes, I think we got it. Another kind of interesting trivia bit about this song is that we actually intended for it to go on a little longer. The original plan for this was to have the instruments stop and have the vocals continue on going, kind of like Light Displaces Darkness did. And rather than just stopping, they would get more and more reverby and start kind of fading out. And then just as well, honestly, it wasn't until the lyrics were written and I was demoing the lyrics that it actually felt like, no, this is, that's a neat idea still, but this has said what it needs to say. And it's not going to add anything to the song by having it continue singing. I think it's fine without that. So we'll keep that in the back of the brain for maybe a different song, a different time. But yes, this was actually supposed to continue out with more vocals, and then we ended up not doing that. Okay, so moving into chunk number 3, if you will, of the big process, volume detail, or volume automation. I seem to use those two terms kind of swapping in and out. They don't necessarily mean the same thing, but that is, volume automation is pretty much what we're doing in this step. The first thing that we are going to do, there is a spot here right before the solo where the two floor toms hit together, so we're going to go ahead and put a pan envelope on floor tom 1. Pan, by the way, is telling us which speaker the sound is coming out of. Right now, both floor toms are coming more out of the right speaker than anywhere else. We are going to change that so that when they hit together, the floor tom 1 is going to jump over into the left speaker so that we get a nice wide hit right there. Don't want it to jump too early, though. There we go. And that is, yeah, that's the only time in the entire song floor tom 2 hits, so we don't have to worry about that happening anywhere else. So now we can hear that that big tom thing right there, right where everything starts to get heavy. Right at the end, we'll have a couple of hits where everything's panned out. Yep, that's neat. Okay, so now we need to go down through the song track by track, paying attention to the volume of each thing as it happens in the song. Now, normally we start with tom fills because there's nowhere that the bass and snare need to be turned down. But I do think that the bass drum actually should be a little bit quieter until the song gets heavy. Not a bunch, but a little. So yeah, right here is kind of the difference between chorus 2 and solo. So let's try turning the bass drum down just a couple of decibels and just see what difference that makes. We just don't want the bass drum to be kicking anybody in the teeth during the soft parts. Yeah.
That's where you'll find me. In the warm embrace of the music in this place, this is where I stay.
So just 1 decibel down.
Here time seems to be an illusion taking us away.
In that same vein, I do actually think the bass guitar maybe ought to come down like half a decibel or something, and for that same period of time. Maybe it should rise back up during that build up.
But though I had to leave, I know you still believe that even though I'm gone, you have the strength to carry on.
I actually feel like the snare could come up a little, if I'm being honest. Now, the difference here is the parallel compression. So the parallel compression is also not on during this part, which is making the snare a lot less, like, punchy. So I think we should actually increase the level of the snare just a little bit.
If you're alive, I'm alive.
I want to hear more cymbal, too. Yeah.
Within you.
definitely want to hear more overhead during this part too. Let's go ahead and do that while we're here. Yeah, let's let this rise up over the course of that build up again as well. Or down, actually, now I think about it. Because we're turning it up here. And let's go a decent bit, honestly.
Though I'm gone, you have the strength to carry on. If you're alive, I'm alive. Here within you, I can never fade. I remain through the memories we made. Leave your sadness beside the lake. Feel the sunshine on your face. Though you're torn in two, still I'm here with you.
The verse was good. I feel like maybe it ought to come back down a little bit for those pre-choruses.
You have the strength to carry on. If you're alive, I'm alive. Here within you, I can never fade. I remain through the memories we made. Leave your sadness beside the lake. Feel the sunshine on your face. Though you're torn in two, still I'm here with you. In the peaceful thoughts of memory, that's where you'll find me.
Yes. Good. Ooh, you know what? There's something in the overhead track that I've been thinking about fixing since the tracking mix. Right near the end of chorus 1, Eli hits some bass drums with some right cymbal, and I feel like the first hit, the right cymbal sounds weird. Or did I already fix it? You know what? I think I fixed this already. Yep. Okay, I sure did.
That's where you'll find me.
One of those right cymbals always felt weaker than all the other ones. But apparently at some point I fixed that, and then I just don't remember doing it. Okay, tom fills. I'm going to go through the song fill by fill and make sure that we can hear all of the toms. I don't think we're going to need an envelope for that bottom floor tom. Let's check it out.
Find me.
Good with that one. listening to the snare on that.
Time seems to be an illusion taking us away.
Use a little bit more of that tom right there. Ooh, another little interesting bit of trivia I should mention about this song. My wife Savannah wrote a lot of these lyrics. She's been a lyric co-writer for a long time, going clear as far back as the previous band even. She wrote all the lyrics for the song Inside the Beast, co-wrote most of the lyrics on Paramnesia, and co-wrote most of this as well. We worked together well regarding, she'll write a whole page of stuff, and then I'll kind of like change it into what I'm picturing for it, you know what I mean? So it has a lot of kind of both of us in there. I like that a lot. But this is one she singled out before any of them had lyrics when we were listening to them. She was like, I want to write that one. Let me write that one.
Taking us away. We are. If you're alive, I'm alive.
Okay, so I heard Tom 1 okay there, but these toms I'd like to hear a little better.
Here within you, I can never fade. I remain through the memories we made.
Honestly, even those I could stand to hear a little bit better. Oh, computer, give me some sort of volume that makes sense here. That was better. And we introduced redundancy here. Let me fix that now while I'm looking at it. Right from 0.4 to 0.7. That's a lot of numbers you're skipping there, computer. There we go. Yeah, that felt quiet too. Excuse me. Introduced a redundancy here. And there. Sure if I wanted to turn that floor tom up, but I think it's okay.
Peaceful thoughts of memory. That's where you'll find me.
Okay, that floor tom actually is a little hot. The floor tom 2. There we go. Okay, didn't hear that tom right there very well. Like, computer's just not cooperating with me today at all. See, that's way too much. 3 toms in that fill, I think. A little bit more of 2 and 3 than 1. Yep, okay, and we need to get rid of this redundancy. Did we end up with one here? No. Was pretty good with that. This tom right here, I think I want a little more of. Couple of things there. I think I want a little bit more of both of these. Give me 14, darn it. There we go. And a little bit more of this one as well. Toms very well. Or that one. This fill okay, the rest of them were a little soft. I'm going to extend this to here, extend this to here, go ahead and turn up this floor tom a little bit. I guess we'll go 12.5 and see what that does, and then both of these I want to bring up just a little bit. Change my mind about Tom 1 right there. Very nice. This one is definitely shaping up. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good about the bass already, but our next step here is to take a listen to the bass and drums together, and then the bass and rhythm guitars together. I think both of these next two steps are going to be a little bit unnecessary this time. I still want to do them just to make sure that I'm not wrong, but I know the rhythm guitars aren't doing much. I very much doubt there's anywhere in this song that James and I are playing something different, or at least very different. And the drums and the bass already seem pretty solid, but again, we don't want to assume and then miss something cool that we would have caught if we had, done it right. There's no reason to not just do it right. So, we are going to go through and mute clean guitars, the rhythm guitars. I just realized I've soloed my stream mic, and that's not how I should have done this. Mute the clean guitars, the rhythm guitars, the pianos, the orchestra, the leads, the lead vocals, and the background vocals. Okay, so we're just listening to drums and bass here. Okay, let's take a listen. Paying mostly attention to the bass here, I should point out, too. Okay, and then we have a section where neither of them are playing. section. Here we go. Yep, all solid, as I expected. All right, real quick before we close out, let's go ahead and do the distortion guitars too. So we're just going to mute the bass and then unmute the rhythm, the distortion rhythms. This is a really short section of song where they play, and just make sure that James and I aren't doing anything that needs to be balanced better. But I'm pretty sure that we're pretty much playing the same thing the whole time. There might be one point where I'm playing an entire bar chord where it goes from major to minor, where James was maybe playing the power chord the whole time, but we might just be fine. So let's check that real fast. Weird oscillation over there on the right. Yeah, no, I don't think anything needs done there. It has been years and years and years and years since I had done a song that did not need volume envelopes on the distortion rhythm guitars. It's so weird to me that we've gotten the rhythm guitars and the solos to slot together well enough that I don't have to turn down the rhythm guitars during a solo anymore. That alone has kept envelopes on those tracks for years. It's wild. Okay, so when we come back, we will now be taking a listen through most of our bass layer, B-A-S-E bass layer, which again probably is a little less handy in this song because the drums, bass, and distortion rhythms aren't necessarily the bass in this song like they are in most. So we may actually want to extend our bass to include pretty much everything except vocals, because this is a very piano-focused song. Even once the distortion rhythms come in, they're there and you can hear them, but they're not really meant to take over and suddenly be this super neat riff or something. You know what I mean? It's still just kind of adding to the whole, adding to the vibe of the whole thing. So that's where we're going to be when we come back. We will probably continue going through stuff section by section rather than instrument by instrument. That does seem to be a pretty good way of approaching things that I've adopted a little bit more and more as we've gone through the process of this album. But this song, as I suspected, is shaping up really, really well. I'm excited to get those last few bits done. I'm feeling pretty confident that if we can get a good length episode in next time, that we'll finish this one. Which I think makes this... Is that only 2 episodes for this song? No, that would still be 3. Yeah, no, it's still 3. So we're averaging about 3 episodes per song now, which is still making fantastic time. We're getting near the end. So awesome. Yeah. Probably no stream tomorrow, unless I have a pretty significant cancellation in students. Tomorrow is also the last dress rehearsal of the production in Versailles before the actual performances. So I'm also not quite sure what streaming for the rest of the week looks like, but there almost definitely will be streams Thursday and Friday. I'm just not exactly sure when yet. Again, keep an eye out here on the YouTube channel, and also if you're friends with me on Facebook, I'll be posting links. If you're in the AfterWinter, the Making of Boundless group on Facebook, I'll be posting a link in there. If you are not in that group and you want to be, don't hesitate to shoot me a message or search it, and if there's a way you can like ask to join the group or something, we'd be happy to have as many people as possible in there. So if you are not in there, definitely get in there and check out some of the cool making of videos that are posted in there. If nothing else, we will see you guys probably at some point on Thursday, maybe tomorrow if there's some cancellations, but probably not, so probably Thursday. But other than that, we should be good, and we hopefully, as long as we get a nice long stream, you know, a good hour or so, we should be able to finish this one up, which will be awesome. As per usual, I'm also looking forward into getting into the next one. The next one is another really neat one, like they all are. I have no least favorite on this album, which is a fantastic position to be in. All right, guys, whether you're watching right now, whether you were watching before, whether you're watching this in the future when it's not live, I and everybody in AfterWinter appreciate every second of time you spend checking this stuff out, whether you're hanging out here in the streams or listening to the music wherever you stream music, or if you've bought the CDs. We couldn't possibly appreciate it more. We really hope you guys enjoy watching this album kind of come up and be what it eventually becomes. I'm having a whole lot of fun doing it. I'm hoping that you guys are having a lot of fun taking this ride with me, and hopefully maybe demystifying a little bit of what mixing and mastering is. I know a lot of, especially non-musicians, hear those terms and they're like, what are you talking about? Not that the way I do it is the end-all be-all, but I feel like there's at least a pretty good job, at least a fairly good job being done. So hopefully we're getting a little bit of education in that as well. We will catch you guys in another stream, and one more time, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.